All right, welcome to East Central, where we give you the best of entertainment conversations from around the world and Africa. This is the right place to be. Trust me, tell everyone, ask about it. You know that we serve it to you as it's hot. Now, today on the show, we're going to be seeing a lot of good conversations, amazing discoveries as well, because 6 people have been arrested as regards the murder of a South African rapper, AKA. So we're going to be jumping into that conversation as well. Burna Boy is in the news as well and giving us a huge milestone. And also Oxlade has hit another huge milestone. And after 13 years of airing now, the Johnsons has finally come to an end. But we'll jump into these conversations right after the break. My name is Edewa, aka the Voice of God. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. It's still East Central. Now, let's jump into the conversations that are burning right now. Yes, 6 individuals have been apprehended in connection with the tragic murders of prominent South African rapper Kiernan Forbes, widely known as AKA, and his close associate, celebrity chef and entrepreneur Tebello Tibz Motshoane. Now, the devastating incident occurred outside a restaurant in Durban a year ago, sending shockwaves throughout South Africa, and authorities revealed that hired assailants were paid to specifically target AKA. Although the motive behind the killings remains undisclosed, the suspect, under the ages of 36, are scheduled to appear in court on Thursday to face charges related to the murder. Now, during a press briefing, the Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and the KwaZulu-Natal provincial police commander disclosed that AKA was under surveillance from the airport, indicating that Tibz was not the intended victim. Now, they focused on AKA. Now, he also asserted that we have evidence that they were compensated for their actions. Now, the investigation revealed that the 6 accused individuals played various roles in orchestrating the assassination of AKA, including the gunmen who carried out the shooting, spotters who trailed AKA from the airport, individuals who procured the firearms used in the attack, and the mastermind behind the plot. Now, additionally, some suspects are implicated in unrelated murder cases. These same suspects as well. Now, following a joint operation by Interpol, 2 suspects were apprehended in Eswatini. Plans were underway to extradite them to face charges in South Africa. Now, the general also noted that media reports may have alerted a 7th suspect who remains at large. Recovered evidence include vehicles, firearms linked to the murders, and spent carriages, the cartridges. Now, the police minister, Beke Sele, acknowledged the profound impact of the killings on the nation and expressed hope that the arrests would provide solace to South Africans. Reflecting on the motive, Sele emphasized that it will be revealed in court, I beg your pardon, highlighted that they calculated the planning involved in the crime. Now, AKA, who began his career as part of the rap group Entity, garnered widespread recognition both locally and internationally, receiving posthumous awards at prestigious awards worldwide. Now, let's listen to what the conversation has here. Check this out.
One more like Oliver. Big shot, superstar, on the shot, finish shot.
There's a total of 6 suspects that have been arrested and detained in connection with the murder of the 2 individuals, Mr. Kiernan Forbes, also known as AKA, as well as Mr. Tebello Motshoane, who's also known as Tibz. The incident that happened on the 10th of February in Florida, here in Durban. These 6, they played different roles during the operation. We have a coordinator who's basically the master of it.
All right, now joining us to have this conversation or to speak further on this, we have a legal expert, Mupelelo Zikalala, all the way from Durban, to give us a legal angle as regards the current situation of things. Hello, Mupelelo, how are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon to you, and also good afternoon to viewers.
All right, great. So let's jump right into the conversation right now. These suspects have been apprehended. Let's look at it from the legal perspective. What are the possible charges they may face long-term and all that? Can you give us an insight in this?
There are quite a few. First one, and the very obvious one, is that of murder. Secondly, conspiracy to commit murder. The issue of the use of weapons again will then come in. So the ammunition and guns actually then come in. Remember, there was a gun that was discharged in a public place. So all those things would come into effect, including with one of the charges of maybe defeating or obstructing the ends of justice, depending on what they've done up until they've been caught. So looking at it from simply a face value, you can already see 4 charges which can be laid against them, and each of them carrying such a heavy sentence. And one of them, that being of murder, can even come back with a life sentence or even 2 life sentences, meaning that they'll have to spend the rest of their lives for at least 25 years in jail. So it is quite serious allegations, very serious crimes in which they are alleged to have been made. And if they are indeed found guilty, serious consequences are going to follow to them.
Interesting. Now, you spoke about a minimum of 25 years if you look at all the charges put together and if they are actually convicted in the end. Now, different people play different roles in this process. As we heard from the conversation earlier, some were just the ones who acquired the weapons, some were the ones who spotted, and we had the 2 who carried out the action, as it were. So would all these individuals get the same kind of sentencing, or would it differ based on the parts they played or the roles they played in carrying out this incident?
Now, in South Africa, we have what we call the doctrine of common purpose that says, even though your participation in a certain crime only accounts, for example, 20 or 10% of the whole crime that has taken place, the mere participation and then the intention of participating in that crime means that you wholly and partly or wholly participated in it. Hence, if the sentence is being issued, regardless of your participation, if that doctrine of common purpose is applied, then you're going to receive the same sentences as the person that pulled the trigger. So in this case, regardless of whether you supplied the guns, regardless of whether you were involved as driving the getaway car, even if you're the one that says, I'm going to follow, be the spotter, it has been alleged, at the end of the day, the type of sentence that you are going to get is going to be similar to that of the person that pulled the trigger. The reasoning behind this is this. We want to eliminate and punish the notorious mind. So the only way to do that is to say and send a very strong message to members of the public of saying, regardless of how you are participating in criminal activities, if a person's life is involved, you are going to receive the same type of punishment as the person that actually did the dirty work for you. So in this case, the sentence will all be similar to them, regardless of their participation, unless maybe if they come back with a plea agreement or they agree that they are going to testify and in favor of the state and implicate all the other individuals. And part of that agreement, then the state or the court can come to the conclusion of saying, because you fully participated and you assisted us in coming to the conclusion in this matter, we're going to give you a lesser sentence.
Interesting. So looking at the time at which this whole proceedings will take place, if we're looking at duration now, how long would you say this would be able to run for, given the circumstances ahead of us?
It would first depend on the level of investigation that have taken place. Now, listening to what the police commissioner was saying yesterday, Mr. Mkhwanazi, I think the police have done their investigation and they're quite thorough. So it would be a situation where it's just confirmation of a few things here and there. So the matter or the trial is starting maybe within the next 3 to 6 months. Then after that, depending on the witnesses that are there, the admissions which are going to be agreed to by both parties, you can see the trial going for maybe over 24 months or even lesser, depending on the type of presiding officer or the judge which is going to deal with this matter. So it purely depends on the information that has been admitted and the information that needs to be proved. But remember, you are dealing with 8 accused. So then the more the number of the accused, the longer the trial is going to take, because you need to prove that they are indeed guilty and participated in this whole process individually. And that takes a bit of time, especially if they are going to have 8 legal representatives representing them, because they would want to make sure that they're able to represent their client in the best way in which they know how. That's the amount of time that it could take. But I do not think that this matter, if everything goes according to plan with no hindrances, it can go for more than 5 years up until it's finalized.
Interesting, interesting. Just a final word now. Looking at the family of the deceased, seeing the fact that this case is going to court, do they have any possibility of compensations or filing for compensations from these people who carried out this illicit act? Is it possible?
It is possible. However, at this stage, it could be quite a bit early. So what you do is that you wait up a person has been found guilty. They've traversed all the appeal processes that they may have. And then after that, you say to them, please pay me for the compensation or for the damages that I've suffered. Put me in a position that I would have been had you had not orchestrated or performed this particular act. Funeral expenses, for example, claiming any issues of if I need to go to a psychologist because I cannot longer function. There's another civil action that can be ensued against them. But the most important part of civil action is the person that you are suing, do they have the power and the money to pay you? If the answer is yes, then sue it. But if the answer is no, you're basically wasting your time. And it's better to let the court, let the law run its course and let them go to jail and up until they are rehabilitated. If they are not, then they can end up even dying in jail.
All right. Thank you very much, Tebello, for talking with us on concerning this conversation. And as updates come up, we'll definitely reach out to you again to give us on that as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for hosting.
All right. Thank you.